Hello, it's Amy Rofale with the Jerusalem Connection Report, Friday Red Alert for March 18th. This is my final report as Amy Rofale. Tomorrow, March 19th, the Reverend Jim Hutchins, our esteemed editor-in-chief here at the Jerusalem Connection Report, will officiate my wedding, and I will return next week as Amy Zawi. In other good news, last month a major German university actually canceled a BDS activity on campus. BDS stands for Boycott, Sanction, and Divest. Said it out of order. Boycott, Divest, and Sanction the State of Israel, and is often equated with discriminatory and anti-Semitic activities. Ruhr University in Bochum, one of Germany's largest universities, was indeed the one to issue this cancellation of this BDS meeting on its campus. Salah Al-Khawaja, a member of the executive committee for the Palestinian BDS National Committee, was scheduled to speak about, quote, Palestinian civil resistance against Israeli occupation power and settler politics, as well as Stop the Wall and BDS campaigns. This organization had rented a lecture hall on the university grounds and provided a paper on the content of its speech. Upon receiving this content, the university quickly posted the cancellation on its website, citing that it wanted to distance itself from this sort of rhetoric on its campuses. That's a quote. So while this is good news in Europe, there's a little bit less good news here in the United States. Europe has scarcely supported Israel, but the German university's action has given us a ray of hope. And while in America there are many supporters of Israel, certainly the American Historical Association is one of them. 126 members of the American Historical Association, and these include professors and historians, signed a petition in January submitting it to the association, asking for a public condemnation of Israel for its inhibitance or interference with the education of Palestinian students. They cite specifically the security checkpoints that Israel has had to impose, saying that it is delaying students as much as 15 minutes from getting to and from their academic appointments and places to be. Now keep in mind, a month or so later, there was not one peep when 20,000 school teachers, public school teachers in the PA have been on strike or vocally trying to protest the fact that a 2013 union agreement between teachers and the PA has not been implemented as of yet. Never mind that 20 teachers and principals specifically have been arrested by the PA authorities and security members just for having organized and rallied in protest to this lack of their agreement being enforced. So when the U.S. State Department declares in its latest human rights report that, quote, the PA are imposing restrictions on freedom of speech, press, and assembly, and there are limits on freedom and association and movement, these 126 professors and historians have not at all acknowledged this particular point of fact, that there are activities amongst the PA leadership that are indeed hindering the educational opportunities of the students therein. And yet somehow it took the time to send a petition because they were upset that students had to wait for as much as 15 minutes to get through what I would say are legitimate security checkpoints. I'm still waiting for one of these 126 signers of this petition to say something also in a congruent measure against the Palestinian leadership and situation. This is one more example of how bias and prejudice and anti-Semitism is seeping its way into academia, undermining academic honesty and integrity. And it is a shame that those who claim to be the purveyors of knowledge and those who claim to esteem education are the very ones often undercutting it. Shavua Tov. Have a great week, and Shabbat Shalom.